If you're running Claude Code or Codex full time, your AI coding bill is probably $200 a month, maybe more. Here's what nobody's talking about: 30 to 40% of that work, the tests, the lint, the docs, the mechanical refactors, can run on a free local model. And you'd never notice the difference. This is the $0 layer. And this is how you set it up. Right now, most developers use Claude Code or Codex for everything: architecture decisions, ambiguous bugs, but also test fixes, lint cleanup, renaming variables, updating docs nobody reads. That's like hiring a senior engineer to organize your filing cabinet. It works, but you're paying senior rates for junior work. The math breaks down when you realize a huge chunk of coding work is narrow, repetitive, and easy to verify. Fix this one test, clean up this one file, apply this review comment. None of that needs a 100 billion parameter model with a 200,000 token context window. Here's the trap most people fall into. They ask, can a local agent replace Claude Code? That question forces a yes or no answer about something that doesn't have one. A 7 billion parameter model running on your Mac cannot match Claude's reasoning. It can't handle ambiguous bugs or cross-file architecture. But ask a different question. What work can a local agent do reliably if the task is small, the context is tight, and a stronger agent reviews the result? That question has a real answer. And the answer is more than you think. This is Shubham Saboo's setup. He calls it the Hermes stack. Here's how the pieces fit. Hermes Agent is the orchestrator. It owns the conversation, understands intent, and decomposes your prompt into individual work cards. Hermes Kanban is the task bus. Every piece of work gets a board with status, scope, acceptance criteria, catadecastatia, and evidence. SmallCode is the local coding agent. It runs on any model you serve through Ollama, a 7B coder, a 14B, whatever your machine handles. It does scoped patches, test fixes, lint cleanup, docs, and mechanical refactors. Claude Code and Codex handle everything else: architecture, ambiguous bugs, cross-file reasoning, and critically, final review of SmallCode's output. The $0 layer is SmallCode plus Hermes. Everything that doesn't need a senior engineer runs for free. The routing logic doesn't live in your head. It lives in a file called AGENTS.md at the root of every repo. SmallCode gets the card when the task is narrow, repetitive, low risk, easy to verify, and scoped to a few files. Claude Code or Codex get the card when the task is ambiguous, architectural, high risk, or dependent on deep reasoning. Hermes reads this file on every session. The routing happens automatically. And here's the critical detail. Every coding card must include a goal, files in scope, constraints, a test command, and acceptance criteria. The card is the spec. The quality of the card determines whether SmallCode can finish the work. The Kanban board is what makes this actually work. Without a board, agent runs disappear into terminal history. You forget what you asked. You lose track of what passed and what failed. With the board, every task has an owner, a status, scope, a test command, run history, review notes, and final evidence. Tasks survive restarts. Run history survives context resets. When SmallCode retrieves a card after review blocks it, the second attempt sees the first attempt's findings. No starting from scratch. This is what makes smaller agents useful. They don't need to understand your entire code base. They just need to finish one card. SmallCode output is never final by default. The loop works like this. Small code completes a card. Hermes automatically creates a review card and routes it to Claude Code. Claude reviews. If it passes, card moves to done. If it blocks, Hermes creates a follow up with specific feedback and routes it back to small code. The retry sees the block reason in context. If small code fails 3 times in a row, the circuit breaker trips. Card moves to blocked. Hermes pings you on Telegram. You don't have to be watching. This turns a local agent from a risky autonomous worker into a supervised one. Here's your 5-move operator playbook for setting up the $0 layer. Move 1. Pick one repo, not your most critical production code. Something with tests, docs, and room for cleanup. Move 2. Write an AGENTS.md file at the root. Define what small code handles and what gets routed to Claude Code. Start conservative. Only tests, docs, and lint. Move 3. Set up Ollama on any machine you have. A Mac Mini works. A Linux box works. Serve a 7B or 14B coding model. Small code connects to it automatically. Move 4. Start with the boring work nobody wants to do. Dead code removal. Test coverage gaps. Documentation that's 6 months out of date. This is the work that never gets done because it's not worth paying Claude rates for it. Move 5. Only expand small code scope after 10 successful supervised runs. Build trust incrementally. Don't hand it production features on day 1. 90% of people watching haven't subscribed yet. If this changed how you think about your AI coding stack, subscribe and support the channel. Comment Hermes below and I'll send you the full $0 layer operator playbook. It includes the complete agents.md template, the routing rules, the Kanban card spec, and the 5-move setup checklist. Your Claude bill doesn't need to be $200 a month. The $0 layer is right there. You just need to stop asking your local agent to be Claude Code and start giving it work it can actually finish.